Welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is January 15th, 2018. And this is a Monday night webinar, and the title of tonight's webinar is Entering Trades and then Adding on KissTrades. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar, other webinars we might have, our live trading room, or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Kenneth says it's cutting in and out with a boing-like sound. Let me see if this somehow put that silly beeper deal back on. Bear with me a second. No beeper deal, so we're good to go on that. Everybody hearing my sound okay? Them and their updates. Yes, good, going good. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started here. And what I did is I just put up a couple of charts. This is actually NQ and CL. Bear with me a second. I'm going to go ahead and put up another NQ chart because I want you to see something here. And we're going to talk about some of those KISS trades. Bear with me one second. Should come up here. And there we go. All right, so you should be able to see two NQ charts. Okay? Now what I personally like to do, and I went ahead and just started this chart. I don't trade at midnight or anything like that, so this is actually going to be a good way to teach everybody, how to do a KISS trade. And when you're looking at a chart, one thing you want to do always is to make sure that you know which direction the overall trend is going, but you've also got to look at the smaller trends. These are the smaller trends right here, okay? This is really important because this will make you a lot of money, okay? Because what you're looking at actually the same trade, but three different lightnings is what you're looking at. So what you're basically doing, you're looking for these nice retraces right into like a support area and then a bounce, right? That's exactly the way we teach this at Viper Trading System, and it works quite well. Okay, so what you want to do is basically look at both directions. In other words, if this was to decide to break down, or if it was to decide to go up, I'll show you exactly what I see on this chart, and we'll all see if we agree on that, and then we're going to see if we can take a trade and possibly even get a KISS trade. Okay. Now, we don't know if we're going to get a KISS trade, but we're going to see if we can get a KISS trade. All right, so what I see right now is I see that is support. That's pretty obvious, right? You can see the lightning right there. Here's another support level right under here, obviously. Okay, but this is what we call micro trend. So if they break that, then they could easily come down to here, even down into these areas like this, right? So what we're looking for is and we can't get a KISS trade right now because we haven't gotten a trade to begin with. So this is going to be our first trade. Okay, we're going to be looking for this trade. So let's see if we can get something. I'll just go with Object Trader. And we're going to go with, bear with it a second, NQ's a little slower at loading. There we go. All right, we'll go with let's go with 3. And what we're going to look for, we're going to look for a region. And we want it to come down into this area right here. We'll do 2 ticks. And we won't take a breakout trade. Okay. In other words, we're going to either, come down here and KISS for us to get in a good trade, but we're not going to take a breakout trade because obviously then it could barely break and come all the way back down and KISS. So, this is the kind of trade that I like to look for. Now, I also look at this at the same time. If this was to decide to break right here, for instance, come back and KISS and roll over, I'd be looking for a short. Now, keep in mind that this won't be the same if this does this. In other words, this might be going up, 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 and all of a sudden, this could be like a mid-band at that time. We're going to find out. But right now what we're looking for is this little trade. We want it to come down to kiss. We want it to bounce up. And hopefully we'll get this target up here. I'm going to go ahead and draw the line to see if we would. And we'll go to the left, look to the left to trade the right. There's nothing over there, so we're blue sky. So let's see if we can get something, okay? Now, if we don't get a kiss trade on this particular one, because this looks like a pretty good thrust. I don't know if we're going to get a kiss trade or not. This is going to be our initial trade. And that probably shouldn't have actually filled that, but I know why it did, because we're on market replay. And until you get a closed bar, Object Trader just thinks that that bar should have filled. We'll leave it at that. That's fine. If we get taken on this trade, then so be it. We'll get it back. I did not want it till down here, obviously. And I'll bet you it comes back down here too. So if it does, well, we'll leave it with 3. But we will let it come as low as here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a stop just in case, because we got in higher than I wanted to. I wanted in down here. And when you're using market replay, by the way, real markets are actually moving tick by tick by tick, but market replay is not moving at all. So therefore, it's basically paused, and that's when it did that. And it's coming down right where I thought it would. Okay, this should bounce. If it's going to bounce, I'm going to go ahead and give it just a little bit more wiggle room since we got in. Let's see if we can get something on here. If it takes us, it takes us. Just so be it. Okay, we're up at what, 67.95. Let's see if we close up. If we close up, now I'm going to go ahead and put my stop. Just since I got in at the wrong spot, I am going to trust my swing. See here, see how it just came down exactly where I said it would. That's what happens when you're trading, by the way. You're going to see this time and time again, where they're going to thrust up, pull back exactly where you want them to, and then head on up. Okay? So we're okay on it. We're still feeling a little bit of heat because of the way Object Trader got in that. It wouldn't have gotten in if I hadn't been using market replay. Let's see, your webinar started but with no disclaimer. Yeah, the disclaimer was showing and everything, but I think what happened is, it's because I had that problem with GoToWebinar doing their update. And, this other computer, evidently I was able to use an older version or something. Because remember, I took mine out this morning. I told everybody I was going to take it out and then reinstall it. So that's what it was doing, was an update, I'm sure. Let's see, that is Lightning 1. Now, Lightning 1 basically is, this is Lightning 2 right here. Okay, thrust, retrace, like that. Okay, this is Lightning 2. Yeah, you all know the disclaimer, Dennis says. Well, that's for sure, because we've been in business long enough. I've said that thing 10,000 times, I think. Maybe not that many, but a lot. Okay, we're not feeling so much heat now. Okay, we're okay. Now, as soon as this pops up, I'm going to go ahead and tighten my stop, because you can clearly see that I've got a little swing right here, but not until it takes out this top. If it takes out this top. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and tighten this to right here. But right now, we got to leave it where our lightning is. Everybody sees why? High, low, higher low. Not necessarily. Not until it takes this out. It's not a higher low. It's got to take this out right here. Yeah, we're in the profit. Okay? We're in the profit. Now, let me ask you a question. When you're looking at your charts, do you do the same thing that I did just then? Do you look like, if this thing was to decide to break down, for instance, see my arrows down there? That's what I'm looking at, just in case this is done. We don't know if it's done, but if it is, we might have to go the other direction. If we do, if this takes this out, right over here to the left, then we'll be using this one instead with our arrows like this. See? More like that. That's if it takes out this top, because this is what we call a micro swing. Now, you can also do something else too. I want to show you something that I personally like to do. and that is you can put up another chart and draw you a trend line and use a tool that we've got called Wedge Trader. Okay, I'm going to wait for that bar to close though before I go ahead and do wedge trade because I don't want it to fire. There we go. All right, let's see here. We're going to do a wedge. Nice tight wedge. Maybe even be able to get tighter than that. We'll see. I think you can go pretty much like that. There we go. We just got a short underneath the wedge. Okay. See how it broke the trend line? Okay. So now it looks like we got taken out of this one, right? But this one was actually short. Look at that thing go. Whoa, wait a minute. This is a beautiful kiss trade, by the way. Everybody see it? It's coming right back to resistance. Okay, now we got taken out because I was talking and everything, but isn't that a beautiful spot for that to roll over? Anybody that's been trading with us a while sees that? Draw your line if you don't see it. Right under there like that. See how that's high, low, higher, high. That's your identified swing. If this rolls over right here, we're going to actually short it. Okay? You know why we're going to short it? Because it's below mid-band, and that's a good short. Okay? That is that kiss trade that I was talking about. Notice that I only had one in, so obviously it got its 10 ticks right off the bat. So we're going to only take this if it decides to go below that line. And I'll take it if it closes the bar. Now notice we're down just a little bit. The reason for that is because I didn't move my stop on this one, but we're going to get it back. You watch. We're good at this. Anybody trade with us today? Remember how slow it was? It was like watching paint dry, but we still did some really, really good trades and made some decent coin. We didn't hit, major goals. Now, this needs to have a stop just in case right above that swing, just in case. Okay, look to the left to trade the right. Always bring your targets down to previous areas. There's a pretty good swing right there, see it? And there's a swing right there, and then we'll let a target run. Okay, notice now that we're back almost in the profit, okay? It looks like we're going to be in the profit finally. Okay, now let me ask you a quick question. Let's say that you were trading this and you're looking to see if you can add to your contracts, because this is real important to make money, okay? Because I see it already, and I know our people do too, okay? What I see is this right here, and I see this. I see this. I see this. Okay, so we're going to see if we can get broken and come back and kiss, and then we'll add. Okay, that's what a kiss trade is. Now, we don't know if this is going to do this because we could actually get a higher low and then even head up. Okay, but we got our stop in. We're good. Okay, let's see if we can get a kiss trade. And we'll do it on this one instead, right here instead. But we're not going to chase a trade. We've got to actually break, pull back, and get us a kiss trade. Okay, notice we're up about 85. Not a biggie, not bad. Okay, does everybody see what I'm talking about? Kiss trade. It's simply a break and a come back and kiss and a rollover. That's what I'm looking for. And we may get it, we may not, but we will get a kiss trade one time or another. You watch, and we'll see. We got a kiss trade right here. Came up and kissed and rolled over. Let's see if we can get another one. Didn't quite take out the low, no big deal. It's got a break and pull back. Okay. Now I would probably, more than likely though, if this comes anywhere near stealth or even this area right across here, I would probably more than likely go ahead and short this thing. If it comes near stealth at all, let's see if we can get a stealth trade. and then I'll see if I can kiss it. I'm going to just do 2. I'm going to go ahead and take it. See how it kissed resistance? Okay, let's see if we can. Now we're back to $20, unfortunately, but we got 5 contracts on too. Look to the left to trade the right with charts all marked up with trend lines, fibs, and AK market geometry. Absolutely. Dennis, that's absolutely right. The beauty of trading is that everything on that chart is geometric shapes. You know, they do trend lines, they do wedges, they do boxes. You know, basically you just got to draw on your charts to trade. There's $145, by the way. Amen, Brother Gary. Yes, yep, that's our preaching right there. We preach this every day. I'll show you a oil trade that I actually called in the room this morning, and a good add-on for it too. Okay, that's a decent little trade, right? Now notice we were down a little bit at first because, unfortunately, I got in at the wrong spot, even though I called the right spot. Okay, let's see if we can get something else. Okay, we're going to try to get a target. And I'm going to move this target out of the way. Okay, like so. And then we're going to see if we can get a kiss trade. Okay, let's speed this up and see if we can get a kiss trade. By the way, I'd probably move that target even as we speak because it looks like it's heading down pretty good. There's a little swing right there. And I'd bring my stop down. Okay, now remember we talked about a kiss trade. Okay, now that's not enough of a thrust for a kiss trade yet. We're getting there though. There you go. That's enough of a kiss. This should come right back up here. There's a kiss trade. See it? Right here at our line, and it rolled over. Can we see that? That is a kiss trade. Now, the beauty of a kiss trade is that you can get them and even box them in, to give an example. Okay? And when you get a kiss trade like that, that is a good area to add. Because if you add there and then let it take some targets, you know, ride 1 or 2, and then it'll thrust and it'll retrace again. That's the way they do. Watch and see if it doesn't do just that. Where's your next kiss trade on this chart? Let's see here if we can figure it out. All right, let's see. They came up a little higher than we wanted because kiss was right there in my opinion, but they're going to kiss here next time. See, because they went higher. So what they'll do is they'll take out this swing, more than likely, and then they'll come back and kiss this line because they're going to kiss these different areas of resistance. Watch and see if they don't. We'll speed it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take off all but 2 if it gets down to the bottom. Everybody see the kiss trade that I'm already looking for right there? You going to give me a trade? Come on, take out the low. Take out the low. I'm going to go ahead and put my stop just in case right there. Exit on close. A little higher low there, isn't it? Let's see if we can get a lower low. Come on, roll over. Okay, there's another area for kiss right here too. See it? But that's trying to kiss that now. See it? The little wicked candle. So I'd say that one's already done. So we'll get that line out of the way. This way of trading, I'll tell you, I think really works pretty well. Our people do this all the time. Okay, so let's see. They kissed here. They haven't kissed here, so I'm going to draw a line. And the closer you get to midband, the better off you are. And watch our predictors too. See this predictor right here? That was predicting where that would roll over. Let's see if we can get another predictor. And I'm going to add, if we do, and we need to take this out a little bit right there. That's support. They're not taking it. Okay, I'm going to take one off if they go above here. Only if they go above it. By the way, you can turn on lightning too, like that. And that will actually look for, if it happens to take out this wicked candle right here, that means that we're starting to stair step back up, and we'll probably retrace. Not yet though. Let's look at our other chart. Okay, we're just about at a target. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my stop down on here on this one, simply because we're actually short on two charts. Okay, that would get me out if that turns green. And I'm gonna protect this one too. See it right there? It just went above the little swing. And I'm gonna add or go back in it if it comes up to right there. That's where my swing is. See it? Thrust, retrace, thrust. Retrace. It took out our swing a little bit. That's what they do. And then they're going to come up there and they're going to kiss that line. But not yet. Still heading down so far. Okay, we still got one in, so we're okay. And there's a kiss. See why I took it right there? I drew on my chart ahead of time because that's where it had not kissed yet. Okay? Now, when you trade like this, by the way, this will really add to your bottom line, because you notice that I was in only one and then I got in another one just by simply kissing it, right? Okay, this one's flat, so we don't care about it anymore. Okay? Now, when you're looking at your charts, where do you think the next trade is on the chart by just what I taught? Because this is really, really important for you to make money. Because you should be able to see it already, because I just showed you twice. Okay? Where you want to look, let's get these out of the way for right now, because where you want to look is right here or here. Okay? Now watch and see if this doesn't thrust down and come back and kiss. Okay? Because more than likely it will. Now, when they quit kissing, you know, they roll over and then they don't take out the lows, to give an example, and you get a higher low, you're going to get a higher kiss, but it's still going to stay with the trend if you're heading down, or vice versa if you're heading up. Okay? So looking to the left to trade the right, I see a swing here that is identified. See the a priori swing right here? That's identified because our lightning 3 is red. Our lightning 4 is still green, but lightning 3 is red. You got a lower high. Okay? So what you're looking for, if you were just starting to trade for the night, let's just kill it and let's see if we can get that trade. And we'll watch it with our indicators. It's got to thrust down first. There's your thrust down. We're going to get a predictor right in through that area right there, I bet you. Let's see if we can get a kiss trade. I'm going to take 3 if we do. There's the kiss. There's your rollover, trying. And there you go. Put your stop right there. Everybody see that? Isn't that a good way to trade? Because if you look at every chart the same way, now keep in mind this does not work in chop. In chop, you've got to pick your support and your resistance areas, and you got to trade, you know, basically both directions, or just simply stay with the overall trend. Okay, I'm going to turn on lightning just in case. That's a higher low. And this has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 3 thrusts. Still an overall uptrend, but somewhat down too. So, you know, this side is down and this side is up. Okay. Now, let me show you a conservative way to do that. You notice that I did that pretty aggressively. Okay. A conservative way to do it is to let the lightning actually get you watching the chart and get in the trade at the proper. We're flat. Okay, let's see here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy that actually, because that's actually taking out resistance. Uh-oh. Well, we'll put our stop right. Just a second. Let's see if that bar will close up. There we go. We're good. Put it right there. Just in case. The reason I did that is because we got that higher low right there. That's going to take me. Yeah, got me. All right, that's okay. What we'll do now is we're going to watch for another kiss trade. Okay, so let's look at our chart. And let's see if we can figure out where it's at. All right, we already kissed here. We're going to either break down like this, and I'll draw on it. We're either going to break down like this and come back and kiss, or if we break this trend line, I'm not going to do this many, obviously, but I see this time and time again when they get these higher lows. So if they do actually, we'll do a touch plus like 2 above that trend line. If it does happen to pop above it, we'll just try to get a scalp trade. I'll go for, let's see, they've already been here, they've been here. They haven't been here. That's about 15 ticks. I'll just go like that if it breaks. See, I can kind of diagnose your chart. We'll see if it'll go there. Little trend line. We're still at 575. What were we up earlier, though? I think we were up quite a bit more than that, weren't we? Absolutely a perfect way to trade, isn't it, Dennis? Absolutely. I sure like it, I can tell you that, because it flat works. Now, if you don't want to be aggressive on this, get your angle like this and then move your trend line just a little bit like that so they don't wick you in the trade. And you'll be surprised how many of those will work, because a lot of times they'll wick you in, but if you keep your angle right on where they're doing their little thrust retrace, they'll usually give you a pretty decent trade. Let's see if they do. Otherwise, we're going to break down and we're going to kiss. Let's see which one it does. Turn on both of those. See if we can get something. Touch plus 2. We can remove our line, by the way. Let's go ahead and move our line. Oh, I got that on time trade. No wonder. Duh. Well, that ain't going to work. One thing about it, if you think you're clicking wedge and you click time trader, you just lost a trade. Well, it would have worked. You can see that. All right, let's see. Are we going to get an up move? To change trend, we have to take this out right here. Let's go ahead and do a trend line again. Bear with me just a second. I don't like that. I'm going to actually go a little stronger trend line. Unless it takes this out. And if it does, guess what kind of trade we're going to go for? We already know, right? We're going to go for a break, a pullback, and a resumption trade. Or we're going to break this trend line and not take this out. You've got a low, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, starting to stair step up. Still hadn't taken out the power meter 3 here. So if we do happen to get a break of a trend line, we'll take it that way too. Let's see which one works. And that's going to be like that, like that. And we're going to take it off time trade. Why is that going on time trade? Wedge. See if we can get something. This is also a phantom trade, which we teach too. It's going to either break one way or the other. I'm going to go ahead and do like I said, move the line a little bit. That way we don't get wicked into it. Let's see if we get something. Let's just let it ride. Anybody have any questions so far, though? You notice how KISS trading can make a big difference on your trading? Because to give an example, even that figure right there would not be too shabby for trading for a couple hours, right? Okay. And I'm going to show you a trade that was made on oil the same way today, and it was called Live in the Room and everything. And it was basically a little thrust up and a KISS trade added to it. And even with the sloppy, choppy, slow morning that Martin Luther King Day had, because obviously traders are actually doing what? They're actually they're off, right? They're literally off. I'm going to sell that. See, that broke my support there. I'm not sure why my wedge didn't work. But I'm selling it because it broke my trend line. Okay? Now, if you want to instead, what do we talk about? A KISS type trade, right? Okay, it broke down. Comes up there and kisses our little swing. You could actually be looking, see how this is starting to stair step down now a little bit? So you're stair stepping up, now you're stair stepping down a little bit. You broke a trend line. They're going to probably kiss that line. We'll put our stop just above it, just in case this thing decides to go up. Okay, now what if you missed this particular trade though? Anybody? Well, you can take a little breakout trade above midband. Absolutely you can. Now keep in mind that this midband is actually like a little magnet. It draws the prices back toward it. Okay, see how it's going below midband right here? It's also definitely breaking that trend line, even that larger one. See it? Like that. And those trend lines are pretty good, by the way, for you to use. But what if you missed this trade right here? Anybody? Because you should be able to see that you can also still get another trade. You've got to break, pull back and kiss, and roll over. Let's see. Dave, on your question, actually it's not. Dave's saying that OTs can be complicated, but the beauty of OT is that you don't have to use all the complicated stuff on it. You know, to give an example, like the region, okay, that's one of the most popular trades that we've got is the region. But we've got a video e-manual on Object Trader. It'll walk you through every single trade. You know, that way you're keeping up with everything that I and the program are adding to Object Trader. Because we don't want it to be complex, but we want it to be a very, very good and powerful tool for our people. Yeah, and that ebook's really good. It's, you know, basically it's about 5 to 8 minute videos showing you how to use Object Trader. But I can tell you this, that Object Trader was actually designed about 3 years ago. And it was basically at first to just be more of a, you know, basically break a region type of a deal. That just wasn't good enough for me. I wanted it to be able to do trend lines. I wanted it to be able to do wedges. I wanted it to be able to do bar close type trades. I wanted it to be able to do lightning. To give an example, you want to watch this and see if you couldn't get out at a perfect spot with lightning. See, lightning is red. And all I've got to do is move my target out of the way. And if lightning goes green, I can take my trade off the table. And I'll just do one. So I'm going to basically go long on one if this turns green, which means it would flatten it out, right? There we go. You just flattened it out. Now, does that mean this won't head on down? Probably, more than likely, you'd want to use this other lightning. Let's take it again if it kisses. Didn't kiss. You're going to kiss for me or not? No, it's just going to roll over instead. All right, so What we're going to do next is we're going to look for another kiss trade. Let's see if we can figure it out. Let's get rid of all the lightning and everything. And you guys and gals diagnose the charts for me. Let's get rid of lightning 2. And I'm going to look to the left to trade the right. And we're going to see if we can figure out where this thing's going to hit its head after a thrust. So looking to the left to trade the right, I see a swing right across here. Okay. I see a swing right across here that they haven't checked. See, basically, and it's the same point as this, so it's the same thing. So let's draw another line. And we're going to see if we can get a kiss trade. How about that? We'll just see if we can get a kiss trade. Now, if you want to know how to do it more conservatively, I can show you how to do that also. But if you do it conservatively, keep in mind you got to keep your stop a little bit looser. Maybe you could tell how to set it up so it doesn't have all the options active, so accidents don't happen. Accidents can't happen if a person actually just doesn't turn on those LE and SEs at the top. Let's see if we can get a trade. We've already drawn on our chart where we think it's going to go. Let's see if we can get one. PM, well, PM actually got me in that trade long, so let's see if that works out. That's lightning 1 there. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Let's see, what confuses me is it looks like it's checked there. On which one, Mindy? Where you say it's going to kiss. Well, one thing about it right here, okay, let's just go ahead and kill this because this is actually because I have my PM on. We don't really want that PM on right now. But if it does close up, I'll keep it. I'll just put a nice tight stop just in case, because while I was talking, I did leave that on. Let's see if it gets any higher for us. Where you say it's going to kiss, well, the one thing about when it kisses, keep in mind that it's still going to do lightning. You know, you don't have to just, well, that's good. You don't have to actually just hit the button. You know, for instance, if this was to kiss here and start rolling, you can then click the button. But what if you just decide instead you want to just kind of do a little thrust retrace and follow the lightning instead? You want to try that instead? Let's just see. Let's just kill this. Let's go ahead and kill it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply follow lightning instead. I'm going to watch it and see if it'll come up any higher. And if it rolls over, we'll get the trade. Little kiss trades. Now see, they've already checked here, so I don't think they're going to go quite this high. They could go here because they haven't checked it. See that little swing? That's the one problem about, you know, when you've got a lot of little swings and they haven't checked them yet, they can definitely check them. Because if you draw on your charts, you'll see where they've already checked. See where they've checked it right there? That's been checked. Going to the left again, that one hasn't been checked right there. See it? Look to the left to trade the right. So we know it hadn't been checked here, and it hadn't been checked here. So this, to me, is a sweet spot. Like that. We'll see if we can get something. But instead of catching a missile that's going straight up, let's just see if we can catch it if it rolls over. Okay. One other way, if you're aggressive, you can go ahead and take a trade. You know, for instance, that's kissing that line. If you do that, I'd probably go for like a little scratch, you know, like a quick trade, like 5, 6, 7 ticks. You know, see, that's kissing right where we thought it would. You know, would you want to take that there? See, to me, it's trying to roll over. And if you're a little aggressive, then you would already have gotten the trade. Okay. But let's just watch and see instead if we can watch lightning and get in the trade. I'm going to go ahead and draw lightning. Let's watch lightning. See if we can get it. So you could put a trend line on and go short then? Sure. But keep in mind, though, that you want a thrust and a retrace before you do a trend line, unless they've done like a really large, like this one right here, to give an example. If you drew a trend line like this without a pullback, they'll fake you in most of those. Okay, now to me, I would probably short that right there like that. See, it just kissed resistance right there. Okay, and we said it hadn't tested it yet. So to me, that's a decent trade. Okay, but if you want to wait for it to roll instead, you've got to basically use like region. Let me show you how to trade that one. Let's see if we can get something. You got a little support right here. Okay, if it bounces there, we're going to go a little higher because that is support, but we're going to box this one in instead. You want to try that? Region. We'll leave these turned off, and I'll draw a region. And we're going to wait to see how high it's going to go and if we can roll it over. Now, to me, if they take this out right here, at least right now, that would start heading back down. That way you don't get wicked into something. Okay, see how they're just looking at that right now? They're right at support. Now that's your thrust and retrace right there. Now this is when I start getting serious about a conservative type trade. And let's see if we can get it the way I like to trade it. I'm going to follow it in the lightning format. See support right there? We're going to do a touch plus like 2. I was doing that 2 there, so we'll take it. That's fine. We'll put our stop above here. Okay, and I'm going to add if it does touch plus 2 outside. No, we got 4. We're good. Let's see what we get. See what we get. There would be another one right there. We don't want it to take this out right here. Feeling a little bit of heat on it. It's not a big deal. There's support right there where lightning's saying. We're still okay. Back in the green. It needs to take out this line, though, if it's going to head down. And to head down, we need what? A high, a low, a lower high, which we're getting right now. See that top of that box? That's a lower high so far anyway. But they may go up a little higher, and if they do, they do. We need a lower high if it's going to head down, though. Now, judging by what we just talked about, though, real quick, where's the next trade on the chart? Because you really need to see it in real time if you can. Because obviously that's the only way to trade is real time. Okay? Because I see a trade that they haven't checked yet. See, they're above 77.50. Okay? So by being above 77.50, this may stop us out. We'll see. Yep, it's going to stop us out. That's okay. We're going to get in it again. I'm going to close that, though, because that's already 7 ticks down. We're going to draw our box again. See if we can do it. That's support. That's a little 1, 2, 3. Box it in. There's a good mid band. I'll take that mid band. I liked it a little bit better up there, but I was drawing my box. We'll see if we can get it. It's wicking, so we're going to go a little bit different. Let's see if we can. We're either going to take this out or we're going to start stair stepping up, and then we could even be looking at this. We'll find out. Break, pull back, and then kiss and go up, or we're going to roll over, one or the other. So we're going to tighten this up, do a little 1, 2, 3 below mid band. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. We're going to tighten our stop to right across there, and we'll see if we can get down there to support and a runner. This was fairly choppy today, wasn't it? We got about 8 minutes, and I'll try to get to that point where I actually called that trade on oil, because I think you'll like it, and you'll also see that it's done exactly the way I've taught this tonight. It looks like that's going to be okay. Still heading down. We're okay. This is not one of those days to get filthy rich. You can tell that. They're pretty much in the mood to just give you little 20 ticks. Some 30s, but not very many. Let's see. So you could put a trend line. Oh, you already said that. Yes. Yeah, trend line can be real good like that too. But always draw on your charts, because, you know, for instance, like right here, we've got support. Well, they haven't taken it out yet. So guess what? When they're above it, they haven't checked it now. So if they go down, take this out, for instance, come back, this would more than likely be another trade if they break support and come back and kiss it. Now, so far they're breaking support. I'm going to tighten my stop as soon as that closes, for sure. There, that's fine. See, I'm only risking 4 ticks now. Okay. Let's see if we can get a little thrust and a pullback. I'm going to get rid of 2, though, if this thing comes down here. Well, we'll get rid of 2 anyway if it comes down there, because that's where we got our target. And we're fading it a couple of ticks. But where's your next kiss trade on this chart? Anybody? Because you should be able to see it. Isn't it right there? Isn't that the area that it's more than likely going to roll over? What do you think? I'll bet it does. I'm going to take... No, we're not going to add any more because we got 4. See it coming right up there? Actually, it came to that one. Always look to the left to trade the right. Sometimes they'll come a few ticks difference, but you can usually see where they're going to kiss. Just move your line where they've not been yet. And that's usually what they're going to do. Okay? Pretty good way to trade, isn't it? Okay? Let's go ahead and go. I'm going to kill this for right now, because I want to go to oil now. I want to show that trade, and we're getting real close to the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get rid of this NASDAQ chart. We'll get rid of another NASDAQ chart, and we'll bring up oil. Okay? I'm going to have oil right here. And we're going to see if we can get into a trade at, like we teach, at the time that the room opens. We're not going to care about some of these other times, because some people just aren't up that time. Well, I went a little bit past, but I can tell you where the trade is anyway, because see this coming down to support right here? Let's see if we can get a little trade. Now keep in mind, this is right at the open of the market. Okay, this is like 8 o'clock-ish, and it was really slow this morning, believe me. I mean, we sat there and watched that chart and thought, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Okay, but let's see if we can get a trade. I went purposely past 8 o'clock because I want you to see if you can nail a trade. Like with trend line, a box, a support level. See, right now you're doing a little lightning dance down. Some of our people, by the way, shorted this right here because we called it out in the room live. This is a little box that draws at 8 o'clock, 7:59. I just happened to spin past that, so I wasn't able to stop the replay deal. So we're gonna try it at a different spot. But I called this trade out live in the room, and we're gonna see if we can, all of us, get it. Okay? What do you think? Yet? What do you think? Anybody? Are you waiting too long? What do you think? I think you waited too long because that trade was right there. I drew the line ahead of time. Everybody see that? Now, what if you missed that trade? Well, where's the kiss trade? Wouldn't you think right here on top of this swing? Let's see if we can get it. Right there on top of our kiss. Now, that was a few contracts right there, so let's just see if it works. Because this trade was literally called live in the room this morning. Okay? I took it a little aggressively because it didn't quite touch my line. It will touch that line. There's the line right there. You want to see how much this trade was actually worth just by simply going by exactly what we teach every single day in our webinars? We'll just fast forward it. Fast forward it. Now, is that a monster? Is that a monster trade, or what do you think? Anybody? It wasn't through. We actually called this trade in the room this morning. Now, of course, obviously, you'd be moving your stop. You can even move your stop with lightning. So I like to keep my stop like under lightning, to give an example. Look to the left always to trade the right. If they happen to hit their head at 59-ish, then you want to protect some coin, right? Okay, especially if you're in like 4. Because what I would do personally, if I hit that line, I would sell 2 of those contracts. If they pull back at all. If they blow through it like that, you don't have to worry about selling anything. See what I mean? That was a monster trade today. Where did it give up the ghost? Right there at lightning. Anybody that's trading it saw that. Now, if you were looking for another entry on this, though, matter of fact, you just got one. We'll just put this like that. Let's see if we can get up. There's resistance right there at 69. And there's also resistance looking to the left to trade the right at 71. Everybody see that? There's a little swing to the left. It's not a major swing. And I'm going to take off 2 if it hits it and pulls back at all. And there's 1 off, set of off. And if it comes down another bar, I'll even take another one off. We're okay. Put our stop right underneath the swing. And that's the way you trade with trading kiss trades. We do this with gold every day. We do it with, NQ is a little harder, believe me. If you trade it at the open, it's a little harder because it basically does a little bit deeper retraces. But if you learn NQ's personality, it's still very tradable, but you've got to learn its personality. What does everybody think about kiss trades? Don't they work? Now, the one thing about it, though, at the open of the market, keep in mind that if they don't kiss, for instance, like right here, see where this had a high, a low, and a higher high, that was barely defined. This was your swing right down here that was defined. See it? High, low, much higher high. So that's what they tested. See there? Let me go over that just a little bit because I think there's some ambiguity in seeing this sometimes because you're looking at small bars. But if you look to the left, let's just get rid of all this over here so you can see it. See your high, your low, your higher high barely closes above that swing. I always look to the left and I drop my line in my eyesight one more down, high, low, higher high. See how it took out that swing by at least a couple of bars? Okay, so that swing doesn't count. So when they come back, that's what they do is they check that swing. That's what we call our secondary micro. And that secondary micro usually holds if they're going to head up. Okay, where's your secondary micro on this chart right here? Right there. If that doesn't hold, this more than likely is not going to stay going up. Let's see if it did or didn't. See there? It's taking it out. See how it kissed it? Right where I drew my line. Now, could you have shorted that at that point? Absolutely. Because what did it do? It broke, it kissed, it rolled. Okay? And that's just the way you trade it. Okay? NQ gives you the best lightning setups most often over. It does give good lightning. The one thing I like about NQ also, keep in mind that we've got a trader in Object Trader that'll even trade this stealth line. Okay? Because to give you an example, that was what, 9 o'clock? Let's back this up for just a second. You can see that was decent on P&L. We didn't do that much in the room, by the way, because we weren't doing 3 and 4 contracts today. But I just wanted to show you how to do KISS trades. I'm going to back this up just a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to use stealth if we can get this to back up. I don't want to go clear to 7 o'clock, though. Bear with it just a second. That's still 940. We need to back it up a little bit more. I'll show you how to take that stealth trade. Bear with me just a second. I'll pause this. I'm going to kill these other charts so they're not trying to load also, because I've got like 5 or 6 charts loading. And by doing that, obviously, that'll slow things down. Let's see, that was oil. I'm going to kill every chart, and then I'm going to go ahead and start a new one. And then we're going to wrap. But I want to show you how to use stealth too, because a lot of our people like to use that also. And as soon as this chart loads, okay, it's loading. And I'm going to go back to about 8:30. Let it load. And then I'll show you. Okay, notice how oil just literally just headed up like a big dog. We saw that, right? We saw it just head up. It went all the way to 81, remember? It was a monster trade. All right, now watch this green stealth right here. Okay, let's go ahead and put Object Trader on. Now it's going to be at 0 again because I restarted everything. Okay, let's go ahead and let it go up to its 81-ish. There we go. All right, notice how that just shot up like a bird. Okay, when those do that, if you can ever get a red stealth above mid-band, those are not bad trades. Because a red stealth, now lightning also, by the way, see how lightning changed to red? Okay, I like a lightning trade like that too, because that'll give you a pretty nice trade too. But stealth is actually looking a little bit more at averages and also slopes and things like that. Let's see if we can get it. Good old stealth. You got another green one, by the way, right there. Got a red stealth turned on, no green one. And like I say, I like these underneath mid-band, usually the second one. Now, markets fall faster than they go up. Everybody knows that, right? I mean, it's like an elevator when they're going down, and it's like stairs when they're going up. So what I usually use as a rule of thumb is I don't trust the green ones as much until I get a second set. But the red ones, if they're above mid-band, a lot of times you can trust them, okay? because what this will do, a lot of times it'll bounce, it'll give you a nice red stealth, and you can get you a pretty decent little trade. Watch and see what happens. You see, there's your red stealth right there. And do you get all the targets? Pretty close. Now this is actually, going a little bit more sideways now. Stealth turned green. You can actually use stealth, by the way, to get out of a trade also. Because we've got it designed like that too, so that you can use it both ways. Okay? So tomorrow, when everybody trades, think more about watching for the thrust, the pullback, the kiss trades, and it'll make a world of difference in your trading. Let's see, Dennis saying market replay data for Ninja Traders, market replay download. What are your thoughts on the services compared to the quirky replay data from Ninja? Well, I like the thing about market replay from Ninja, you have to actually have your charts live. Okay? But I use a replay from marketreplay.net that basically I've been in it for a long time, so I grandfathered in under $150 for lifetime. Now I think he charges $150 a year, which is still reasonable. But, I've got lifetime for as much downloads as I want, as much data or whatever. And I like it because if you use Ninja's download, you have to make sure that you've got actually charts up running all the time so that you can get their data. Okay? So this webinar was about entering trades and adding on kiss trades. Okay? If you were looking at this chart right now, okay, we don't know what this is going to do until later, keep in mind. And this is way past, markets and everything. But you want to bet that more than likely they'll come up above this line right here, or this one right here even. If they go up, that is. And let's just see if it does. I got the lines drawn. I killed the trade. I just want to see if it does. There's a kiss of resistance. There you go. Just kissed it. Bingo. Everybody see how to do that on your charts? I mean, that was even after, way after. But look how you can draw your lines on your charts. And did that kiss that area perfectly? And did we draw it ahead of time? Yes. So that can definitely make a big difference in your trading. Where's it going to kiss if it pulls back? Well, we're almost out of data, I think. Yeah, it's going 500 times. That's market closed, evidently. Yeah, it was 328. That was because it was 12 o'clock, Martin Luther King Day. So it's over for it. But if you were watching this, like for instance, later on, I'll bet you it hit that area right there and pulled back, or took it out and came down some, either way. Okay? But you're more than likely, even if it goes down, you're going to run into the same thing. If they break this, they would come back and kiss. If they break this, they'll come back and kiss. Hey, that rhymes. If they break this, they'll come back and kiss. Well, didn't draw a line. Anyway, you get the drift. We're running late. Okay, so look at your charts and see if they didn't do either this or this. And always make sure that you look at your charts so you know which way you're looking to go. And keep in mind, you don't necessarily look for a huge thrust down, but you don't want these little bitty ones either, where they barely come down and they pop up and you hit the button, you're thinking they're rolling over, and all that is a deep probe, and then they do that to you. So always make sure, if you do this type of trading, that you at least get a thrust, your pullback, and your rollover. Okay? All right, we'll see everybody in the morning. Thanks for coming. Was that your second green stealth under midband? Yes. See right here, that would have been a perfect trade too. Yep. Okay, I think I got everybody's questions. I hope I did. Everybody have a great evening. Ran about 11 minutes over. Sorry about that. See you in the morning in the live trading room, and let's see if we can get nicely green. Traders will be back tomorrow too. All right, bye everyone. By the way, that oil trade this morning that was called, that came perfectly to right there, we had that line drawn in the room live. We got it down here. We added to it here, got that monster trade. That's a $600 trade, by the way. You don't need but one of those. Okay, see everybody tomorrow.